There is an overlooked step when it comes to achieving your dream physique. Time and time again, I've noticed that not enough people talk about this, and which is what creates a lack of progress or a lack of motivation when it comes to working out, staying consistent, staying disciplined with your workout routine, your diet, and all of that. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that step is in this video. So, if you don't know me, my name is Cebu. I've been going to the gym consistently for the past 3.5 years now. And I'm going to share with you some of the stuff that I've learned, some of the mistakes that I've made, so that you don't make the same mistakes as me. That being said, obviously I'm not perfect. I still have a lot of room to improve. And I know that I'm only at 0.1% of my potential. That being said, I'll put up a picture on the screen just so you know what I look like, so that you know that you can trust what I'm saying. So without further ado, let's get into it. Obviously, there's a lot of different aspects that go into achieving your dream physique. And we're going to talk about every single one of those in the coming videos. Whether that's what splits should you do, what diets, how to train, recovery, all of that. But today, we're going to talk about an overlooked step. And that is the definition of your goal. First off, I want to say this. It is absolutely possible to get to the goal, to get to your dream physique naturally. Okay? You don't need steroids, brother. To clarify what that step is you need, let me say it again, you need a clear goal. Anything that you want to achieve in this life, you need 4 things. Okay? You need a clarity of goal. You need a concrete plan of action. You need the discipline to stay consistent with your plan of action. And then you just need time. So you need to trust the process and trust that you're doing the right things, and it's just a matter of time before you achieve your goal. Reason why I emphasize clarity of goal is because you can't get anywhere in life if you don't have a clear destination. It's like trying to follow a map that doesn't have an end goal. You're just going to get lost. Okay? So when it comes to achieving your dream physique, you need to set a clear goal for yourself. What that means is pick the body that you want, the ideal physique that you want, and understand that it's absolutely possible to get there. Now, that being said, on my channel, most of what we talk about is going to be for the aesthetic, lean, attractive physique. All right? So that's the body that women like. All right? Let's be real. Most of why you're working out, or a big reason, is you want to look good, you want to look confident, you want to be confident, you want to be healthy. But at the end of the day, you want to look good for women. You want to be attractive. You want to be that guy that when you walk past or when you take off your shirt, people are like, holy shit. Right? So, that doesn't mean that what you're going to learn doesn't work for bodybuilding or any goal that you want. But that being said, we are going to be focusing on the aesthetic physique. All right? So, what that means is we're going to go more towards the Brad Pitt in the Troy movie, if you know what I'm talking about, rather than the Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, that being said, once you set out that clear goal, you need to break it down as much as possible. For example, let's take Brad Pitt in Troy. All right? He is 5'11", so 180 centimeters, and he weighs around 180 pounds in the movie, and he's around 10 to 11% body fat. What that means is once we break that down, don't worry, I did the math, so you don't need to. His lean body mass is around 160 pounds. Let me just clarify what I'm saying. So that means that his ratio is 2.25 pounds of lean muscle per inch of his height, or 0.4 kg per centimeter. Knowing what I just told you, break down the goal that you want. There's a very key thing here that a lot of people miss, all right? And that is you need to think of your height when thinking of your goal. Reason for that is because 200 pounds looks a hell of a lot different when you're 5'5" or when you're 6'2". For the physique that we're aiming for, if that is what you want as well, we're aiming for that V taper. That's, you're lean, shredded, you have a nice amount of muscle mass, you have nice vascularity, your veins are showing, you're lean, so your six-pack is showing, you have a nice jawline. So that's the body that you look good with a shirt, without a shirt, and you really stand out, all right? But at the same time, reason why I bring up the height factor is because if you don't do the math right, if you say I want to be 200 pounds and you're 5'5", you're just going to look bulky. You're not going to look good. All right? What makes you look good is that V taper. That's when you have the wider shoulders than your waist, and obviously you're lean. That being said, for me, right, using the same math, my ideal physique is 170 pounds, because I'm 5'7". So is 170 pounds at 10 to 11% body fat. In that case, I'll have a lean body mass of 153 pounds, which is exactly what we're aiming for. Now, the reason why you want to break down your goal exactly like this is because when you just say, I want to look good, right, it can confuse you. It becomes a bit delusional. It becomes fugazi, right? But when you break it down into your height, your body weight, the body fat you want, the lean body mass, the look that you want, when you break it down as much as possible, that goal becomes concrete and achievable. That's the first step. No one really talks about this step, but it is super, super key to achieving your dream physique. Now, there's a mistake that I see a lot of beginners make. And that mistake is they think, okay, you know what? I weigh 150 pounds. I've never been to the gym, but I weigh 150 pounds and I'm 5'7". And my goal is to look exactly like me, or like, the Brad Pitt in Troy. So they think, okay, then in that case, all I need to do is gain 3 pounds of lean body mass. In that case, I'll be at 153 lean, around 11%, which is the same as 170, right? 170 at 11% is 153 lean. That's kind of what lean body mass means. Lean body mass is just your body weight excluding your fat. That's not right. If you've never been to the gym, then you need to do a lot more than just gain 20 pounds, okay? Because it's a whole cycle, right? You need to bulk, and then you need to cut, see where you're at, maybe do it again, then maybe go into a recomp. We'll talk about all of that, okay? That being said, most people, and I mean most as in 95% of people, should lean bulk. A lot of people think, and this is including if you've been going to the gym for a little bit as well. A lot of people think that they need to cut, okay? But this is the truth, okay? If you haven't been training for long enough, you do not have enough muscle mass to look good when you cut. You're just gonna look skinny, okay? You might be shredded, but you're just gonna have skinny abs, You're not gonna have that nice built muscle look, okay? So most people should lean bulk. That being said, if you're fat, then cut. Okay, that goes without saying. If you're overweight, the first step is cut. Cut down. Maybe you're gonna lose some muscle while you're at it, but at least you won't be fat anymore. And then once you're cut, once you've lost that body fat, then you can start to work more into the lean bulk and getting into Dream Physique. Now, hopefully this video helped you get that clear goal in mind. Just to do a small recap, think of the body that you want. That can be if you want to be a bodybuilder and you want to go on stage, that's absolutely fine. Good for you. But that means that everything you do needs to be aligned with that. That means that some of what I say will not apply to you. Obviously, a lot of things still will, but it's going to be, your plan of action is going to be different than mine. It's going to be different from the guy whose goal is to get that aesthetic, lean, Brad Pitt and Troy physique. Only reason why I say Brad Pitt and Troy is because, you know, that's who I saw growing up. Maybe you're from a different generation and maybe your goal is a little bit different. But you need that clear goal. Okay? Hopefully this video helped you a bit. I broke down the ratios just a little bit to make the math for you easier. So think of your height, go into the same type of ratio that I said. So that means that, you know, if whatever it is, your height in inches, do that times 2.25. And you are going to get your lean body mass that you want. Off of that, let's say, for example, just to recap, I weigh 100, I'm 5'7", and my goal is to be 170 pounds at 10 to 11% body fat. So that means that my lean body mass is going to be 153, 154 pounds of lean body mass. Okay? Hopefully this video helped you out a bit. This step is super, super important to your physical improvement, to achieving your dream physique. So don't overlook it. Take 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. But think of your goal, break it down as much as you can. And then in the next video, we're going to talk about the different types of workouts, the different types of workout splits, your routine. And in the coming videos, we're also going to cover a lot of different things, which is your diet, your, you know, how to train effectively, progressive overload, all of that fun stuff. All right, so I'll see you on the next one.